This is a Presto pressure canner. It is a 21S and it is a 1950 style. It's used. I got this used, came damaged, came with missing pieces. So I went to the Presto online. I think it was Presto International online. .com to get the parts, and I put a new cover on. I replaced this, I replaced this, I replaced that, and then I replaced this here. So that was a good chunk of jing, but it's necessary. When you're going to pressure can, you need to have water in the bottom. Well, these are beans and carrots. They were harvested today. My daughter and I cleaned them, and they're in jars. I need to have the water. We just put everything and put the lids on. These are new jars, new lids, new rings. When you pressure them at 10, 11 pounds in my area, I'm in zone 4, they're 25 minutes at 10 pounds for quarts and 20 minutes for pints. They have a teaspoon of salt in for quarts and a half a teaspoon of salt for pints. All we did was harvest, clean up the vegetables, cut them up, put them in jars. I'm going to add warm water, and I'm going to pressure can these because they're low sugar and they need to be pressure canned to keep. So that is the plan today. For both carrots and green beans, you need to leave an inch head space, which will be probably under this rim. And that's with the liquid. Now I'm going to put the water in there. I'm going to make sure the bubbles are out. I'm going to put the lids and the rings back on, seal them just a little bit tight, not real tight, and then I will pressure them. The reason I am doing this is to not have too much space in there, is because I want to not have it siphon out on me, because it will, and I need to have a certain amount of liquid in there so get a proper vacuum and seal. So that's what I'm doing. When you spin the lid on, you just put it on so it's just finger tight. That's it. You don't want it too tight because the air can't get out to make the vacuum. Finger tight. So now I put the lid on, and in the bottom of the canner I have just a little bit of water. It's about 2 quarts of water, and that's all we need. This is not hot water packing, hot water bathing of them. This is pressure canning, and this water will be used when the heat builds to create pressure, and that's what's going to be used to seal these and preserve them. So the pressure is going to build fast when I put the lid on, and I will be adjusting the burner to almost off before this is done to maintain the 10 pounds of pressure. Canning lids on pressure canners only go one way. There's little hints to show you that it's closed. When it's open, it'll be over here. It only goes one way. You can't fit it any other way but one way. Okay, it has started to, there's pressure, there's air escaping right now. So 10 minutes, it's going to vent this. You probably can't see it, but it's definitely doing it. My hand is getting wet. You can see the steam on it. Anyways, this little thing popped up, and that is indicating the pressure is building, and this dial is going to go up. But I have a jiggler on here This is at 15 pounds. I can take this one top weight off and be a 10-pound, and it'll jiggle and slowly, like here, and it will slowly release air or pressure without me having to watch the gauge. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to adjust the temperature or the burner down, because if I keep it on high like it is right now, it will be too much for me, and it will just keep building. So as the pressure builds, I do not need to keep the pressure or the temperature up. I can just turn it down and I will adjust it. So I'm used to not having a jiggler. I'm used to a 15-pound weight and monitoring it on the gauge, but I can do it with the jiggler because it's going to hula hoop on there when the pressure is where it's supposed to be, and it'll maintain it. You can hear it and you can see it. It's blowing the napkin or the paper towel. So there's air coming out. The 10 minutes is up, so I'm going to put the weight on, and then I'm going to adjust the temperature down a little bit. I'm going to build this temperature, and the reason I'm adjusting it down is this is going to go so fast. It'll be really hard to control if I don't start bringing the temp down. This is an electric stove, so it holds heat, and so there's actually heat in the burner that is going to keep this moving, but it's going to go fast. So I need to be on top of this. This is not the first time I've done this. But this new canner is identical to the one that my mom has, and this, with all the new rubber and everything on it, it builds pressure fast. So I need to make sure that my burner isn't too hot. As soon as I hit 10 pounds, that's when I start counting 25 minutes. Because both for green beans and carrots that are prepped in jars, and you're pressuring them at 10 pounds in zone 4, which is no elevation height to adjust for, it's going to take 25 minutes. If I did pints, they would be 20 minutes, but I'm doing quarts at this time. I've been adjusting my temperature down already 2, 3, 4 times because I'm just about there, and the pressure is building inside the pressure canner, and I don't need very much temperature on my stove or the burner under it to maintain it. As you can see, I'm just about to 10 pounds. And that little jiggler is already doing a little hula hooping, hula dancing, and it's releasing extra pressure. So according to that 10-pound weight, I'm at 10 pounds already. According to my gauge, I'm close. That's what a jiggler is supposed to do. So I'm going to guess that it's already at 10 pounds. Even though the gauge is just not quite saying it is, but the jiggler says it's at 10 pounds. So my time has already started according to the jiggler. That's what it's supposed to do. And it's maintaining 10 pounds of pressure just perfectly without me having to adjust the burner. But the burner's pretty low already. Little hula hoop, little hula hoop. This is another batch that I'm doing, and I find that the jiggler is letting out just enough steam and pressure to keep it steady at about 11 pounds. 10.5 to 11 pounds of pressure. I'm really liking the jiggler. The jiggler is working super well. It's easier with the jiggler to keep the pressure even and not bump up and down, which, you know, could make your jars lose fluid, siphon out because of the temperature change. This is great. When the time is up, Take it off the burner slowly, gently, and let it come to a rest. The jiggler will quit moving, and you let it sit until the pressure is down. That'll be flat. This will be 0, and it might take 40 to 60 minutes. When that is 0, the dial is 0, and this is fallen down, you can pull that off and see if anything happens. If nothing happens and you've waited 5 minutes, open it up and you can take your jars out.